The trip just gave more than you thought it would from when you signed up. You didn't really know what to expect, even when you had the timetable, and then everything kind of exceeded your expectations.
This program is an international study tour. We're taking a group of students to Japan for 2 weeks. It's a mix of several things. They'll get to explore on their own a little bit. They'll get to go to a number of art installations, museums, various other kinds of experiences. And then in their second week, they'll go to the Nippon Designer School in Tokyo and they'll do some classes. They'll be around things like manga, drawing and illustration, that kind of stuff. It should be really exciting.
Day one, we landed. After we checked in, we had some time to run around. So a group of us went to Shibuya, way bigger than I thought it would be.
I mean, at first, meeting all the Animation Game students from the other campuses was a bit awkward. We all kind of stuck to our cliques. I got really lucky. I talked a lot to the Sydney students as soon as we landed when I got sat next to Ash and Lily from over in Sydney. So I actually spent the majority of my time in Japan with the Sydney students. Actually, I didn't spend a huge amount of time with my friends here from Melbourne.
Second day, we went to Osaka for the rest of the week. Then we had the day to explore Osaka. While we were in Osaka, we went to Kyoto, to the International Manga Museum.
Definitely from just like all sorts of different things that were just there in the museum alone. Like just those molds of like mangaka's hands and just holding a pen. I wouldn't expect that in a museum.
I think my favorite place without a plan was definitely the Inari Shrine and going up the 10,000 torii gates. Me and a small group decided to go off track and it went a bit crazy. It started storming, but it was probably the most magical experience I've had the whole trip.
We went to the Tezuka Museum.
There was an episode of Astro Boy that I really liked as a kid, and seeing it there, all idolized, that was fantastic for me. But all their museums are completely set out differently. All the interactivity, like there was so much to do. You could get lost there all day, I believe.
And then after that week ended, we went back to Tokyo. Where most of the week was taken up by doing the classes in Shibuya with the Nippon Design School for 4 days of the week. So on the first day, we had a character design class. So we had access to not only just drawing and sketching it, but then we had a light box as well, so you could do a clean version, which I really liked. After that, we had the mixer with the Japanese students. They were all first year. It was a bit difficult due to the language barrier on both ends.
No one from NDS, or very few of them, could speak much English, and barely any of us could speak any Japanese. So us all crowd around tables with Google Translate, trying to get a conversation through and, you know, exchanging online handles to see each other's art was really cool.
A bunch of them have added me on like social media things, and they stay in touch. Communication is slow. I don't speak Japanese, they don't speak English, but I love seeing what they're working on.
Second day, we had a half day, and that's when we did the traditional manga techniques.
It's my first time ever working with like a traditional ink pen. I personally don't draw much, so the whole experience was very new to me, learning how to do your rough sketch and then outline with the pens and how to control the thickness and hatching, all that kind of thing.
And then after that, we had a really nice watercolor class. The teacher is so talented. I follow her on Instagram now. She is amazing.
Actually get taught from someone who specializes in watercolor paints was just a really good experience, because it was a little bit of things that I didn't actually know what specific terms were, what the actual knowledge was. I only just knew from my own personal use of watercolors, and when the teacher or the lecturer explained how she used watercolors, it was like a bunch of answers to questions that I had been answered and everything, just how watercolors work with the water, how different paints work without the water, sort of thing like that.
And then the last day, we had a portfolio so the teacher could look at our work, give us a critique. Again, amazing critiques from all the teachers. And then we got to walk around the art festival they were holding for not just art students and illustration, but they'll have photography as well. There was lots of range with what was being shown.
The day that we went to Team Labs in Tokyo, I was very excited to go there from the very beginning after looking at like the like everything online for it, and it was just genuinely a really good experience because we could, I guess, interact with the art pieces and stuff that were there.
You really get to become part of the installation and experience it firsthand. There's a lot of projections and tactile things to it. The wading through water one, where it had the projections from the sky, and then there were koi fish and flowers on top of this white water which you waded through, and because everyone was walking through it, it kind of looked like clouds moving along. The other one was this motion sensor orchids that fell from the ceiling, and the whole room was made of like mirrors, and it was very tranquil and peaceful, kind of like a movie.
For me, the opportunity going away with JMC was, of course, partially about going to Japan. From more of an educational perspective, it was great to try more of those traditional art techniques, especially as someone who exists purely digital as a game student. Also, it was great to meet the people from the other campuses.
It was such a cool experience. Meeting the students was a whole amazing opportunity in and of itself, and being able to share work with them and gain connections. But the workshops I got were really awesome, and even though they sort of built on skills I already had, I found that I learnt a lot from just having a professional mentor instead of just doing it by myself.
It went by really slowly in the first week, and then literally this week has gone by really quickly. Waking up in the mornings, it's just been like, oh my god, we've got to get my stuff ready and stuff. So
Honestly, my feet hurt a lot. No, it was a lot of fun, a lot more of a learning experience, and definitely was great to experience just a different environment as well, and just kind of comparing and seeing how different it is between here in Australia.
Yeah, I'm all for opportunity. I think every opportunity you get, you should go for it. Like I said, I don't draw, but I still took advantage of everything I could.
I think the trip gave a lot of opportunities to learn things even outside of the planned events. I think if you're interested in the field of animation, it's really something you want to go into, this trip is really good. Even if you're a game student, there's still insights you can gain from it about the process, and that can be applied to your work, or even just inspiration. But overall, I think the trip just gave more than you thought it would from when you signed up. You didn't really know what to expect, even when you had the timetable, and then everything kind of exceeded your expectations.
Cool. Would you go back?
Yes. I already have the money saved to go back to Japan. I just need to go after uni.